As a former drug addict and criminal, and as a guy who was a drug addict for 27 years and spent his life going in and out of jails and prisons, I knew what I was doing when I was doing it. I knew doing drugs was wrong. I knew committing crimes was wrong. I knew it and I did it anyway. What we need to do is more of that. Once you arrest me, hold me a little while longer so that I have to detox. I am grateful for every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, month, and year that I did behind bars. Jails and prisons saved my life. The problem today is people say we can't incarcerate our way out of this problem. They're absolutely right, we can't. But we can keep the community safe from criminals who are tearing at the fabric of the community. The problem we have today in our city is we no longer hold people accountable. The run-of-the-mill drug addict criminal is getting arrested and released and arrested and released 20, 30 times. Do they have to die first before we do something that's going to be advantageous for them and hold them in jail long enough for them to get clean and sober? We no longer hold people accountable. Now we almost give permission to people to be drug addicts and criminals in the city.
And what's that going to do to the city?
It's going to destroy the city. If we don't start holding people accountable, let me give you an example. In Portland right now, they're closing the Walmarts. Google it, look it up. They're closing all the Walmarts in Portland. The drug addict criminal can walk in with a grocery cart, fill it up, walk out. You cannot stop them. The drug addict criminal is now the protected class, and hundreds of hardworking, tax-paying Americans are going to lose their jobs so we can tear at the fabric of the community. That's the problem we have today. We're making excuses for drug addicts saying, oh, that's okay, those are crimes of necessity. No, they're not. Just because you're a drug addict does not give us the right to be a criminal. Let me share something else with you that I think might help. This is important. I can help solve the problem. Can I share that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I've got a solution to the problem, or at least a large portion of the solution. The problem now is we're arresting people and releasing them, arresting them and releasing them. I know people who are on the 15 freeway at 2 o'clock in the morning with heroin in their pocket, paraphernalia in their pocket, got in an accident, other people were involved, they got arrested, and 8 hours later they're released with a promise to call in. If anybody listening to this thinks that they're actually going to go wait by a phone to call in, to check in, and not go to the drug dealer's house to pick up, you're more of a criminal than that person. The problem is we're not holding people accountable. When they arrest the drug addict who's committing crimes, they should hold us in the county jail. Every single county jail, everyone should have a detox on the front end. Once you have me, I should be forced to detox whether I want to or not. Then after 30 days or 45 days, you offer me all the different options that are available to me contingent upon whatever crimes I had committed. What do you think the odds of success are? 45 days later when you go, Dave, here's Happy House you need to go to for 60 days. Dave, here's the Other Side Academy you need to go to because your crimes are such. You got to stay for 2.5 years. If you complete successfully, we'll then take a look at the charges and see what we can do to mitigate those charges. But we're not doing it anymore. We're arresting the drug addict criminal and releasing them, then arresting them and releasing them, and arresting them and releasing them. The problem's getting worse, not because the problem's getting worse, because our response to it is. I think it's also important that we claim that we need to be more sympathetic or empathetic. Both of those are killing people. If we truly care about human beings, we should do for some people what they're incapable of doing for themselves. We are now fighting in what we refer to as an opioid epidemic, and we're losing lives every day, but we're making it easier for people to get the drugs that are killing them. You can't have it both ways. As a former drug addict, if you make it easy for me to use, I have no incentive to change. If you make it difficult for me to use, and you're arresting me because I'm committing crimes that are actually on the books and you're going to enforce them, and it's becoming more and more difficult for me to use, I now have incentive to change. The more difficult you make my life due to the decisions I'm making in my life, the more incentive there is to change.